Hey everybody, this is Bob here at Fandom with
Jack. Hey.
And we're going to be talking about 7 new Nintendo Switch releases today. Now Jack, I think you'll agree with me when I say that Nintendo Switch had a kind of a weak lineup, right? Launch lineup.
Yeah, definitely. Zelda was great, but besides that, you had some Bomberman remake and some other things. But
lots of good things on the road, but today there are at least 7 new games. But I think they're all kind of odd choices.
Yeah.
And some of them are good choices, but they're a little unexpected. So the first thing I want to talk about is Blaster Master Zero. It is the remake of Blaster Master, a 1988 NES game. Have you played this original? I mean, this is like the 3rd remake of Blaster Master.
Yeah, I played it back on the Virtual Console for the Wii, but not when it came out. But I liked it because it was like a mix of a vehicle combat game and like a top-down shooter and a platformer. Right. So it had a cool mix of styles.
Just a really big world to explore.
Yeah.
And this game is actually being made by the developer Creates, and their specialty is remaking old games with like lots of new features. So I think this is probably the best choice out of all the games we'll be talking about today.
Definitely.
And the other 6 games are all on the Neo-Geo, or all from the Neo-Geo console. Do you know what this is? This is a very 90s thing.
Yeah, for me, Neo-Geo was always like the arcade cabinets
Right.
with like in the donut shop with Metal Slug, but it also was like a home console that was like prohibitively expensive.
One of the most expensive consoles with some of the most expensive games. They were all $100 plus, but now they're all $8, which still might be a little much. But there are 3 fighting games and there are 3 shooting games. So the first one is Nam 1975.
Nice, finally.
All the fun of Vietnam, you can bring it home on your Switch.
Excellent.
And I would not recommend that at all.
Grandpa.
Yes. But I think you'll agree with me that King of Fighters 98 is probably the best of these Neo Geo games. King of Fighters is a long-lasting series. They stopped actually putting the year at the end of the sequels now. There's no King of Fighters 2017. They just put a regular number at the end.
Right, yeah. I think I liked King of Fighters. King of Fighters had like a huge roster for back then.
Yeah.
Like it was just like insane. Nowadays, like lots of games have huge rosters, but they had like a ton of different characters and they were all so unique and wacky. I remember the guy with the giant ball who would like swing things, and there was all the other dudes in tight jeans. That was like half the
There's
cast.
lots of tight jeans in this game, but as with any Neo Geo game, it's just beautiful 2D graphics. The next game is Waku Waku 7, which no one knows. They didn't bother translating the title, but it is a fighting game. Lots of wacky characters. I was watching some YouTube footage of it. It looks really weird. So if you have affinity for this, I'm sure you will be the first person to buy this game. But we also have Metal Slug 3. You can talk about Metal Slug, right? It's awesome.
Metal Slug is fantastic. All the Metal Slug games are really good, and so like especially if you like that kind of like just run and gun, constant barrage of action. It's really good. It's a nice like little like bite-sized thing that you can do. Definitely made to be a quarter muncher game for the arcades.
Super cartoony Contra, super violent, and this is the one that's full of aliens. I mean, they're all kind of the same, but this one is just chock full of aliens to explode with giant pulsating brains.
Yeah, you killed Space Hitler.
Oh yeah, I think so, yes. You
It's
kill some version of Hitler in every Metal Slug, but that's cool. And the second to last game is called World Heroes Perfect. I don't expect anyone to really remember World Heroes.
Man, I remember that like kind of existing, but that was like way past me.
It's mostly famous for Street Fighter creators Capcom suing World Heroes for being too much of a ripoff.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure they won in court. So if you're looking for a very Street Fighter experience, World Heroes Perfect, but I think you want to go with King of Fighters 98 for your fighting game this time.
Definitely, yeah.
And the last game is Shock Troopers. It's another shooter. Would you say your best bet for a shooter with this launch lineup is Metal Slug 3?
Oh, absolutely. Like, without a doubt. Like, far and away the best one. Like, I'd pick Metal Slug 3 over almost any shooter, like, around if you were doing retro ones.
That currently exists, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I really wish we would see more Nintendo old games, not Neo Geo. These are not the ones that I remember, and I think these are pretty obscure for most people, like where is Super Mario World, where is Legend of Zelda, but hopefully those will be available down the line when they figure that out. So all the games we talked about are currently live on the Nintendo Switch shop, and you can check back with Fandom for more coverage of Nintendo Switch.